Hi, welcome to You, Me and Mediumship. Tonight I'm going to talk about making mediumship a little bit easier for yourself, really. Obviously, there are different practices, there's different courses, uh, different lectures, lots of things on YouTube, including me. And there's lots of different aspects to mediumship, lots of different ideas behind the actual art of mediumship, if you like. So I want to make things a bit simpler because I find, especially nowadays, it can be very, very complex, very complicated. Some of the lectures I've listened to, some of the talks, some of the clips, I guess, on some of the courses that are available. And it can be very, very overwhelming, and to the point where I think it can be quite frustrating for some of the young mediums. I say young, obviously, some mediums start at a later age than others. So not all young, and some have had the gift all their lives and decide to develop it, when they've got a bit more time on their hands. Maybe the family has grown up and left the nest, if you like, and you've got a bit more time on your hands. So it gives you a bit more chance to do a lot more sitting in the power and developing that communication skill. So yeah, so we all start at various ages, I guess. So in simple terms, to understand and get a grasp of what it is that you're trying to do, the best thing to do is try and keep it very basic, really. Try and find what works for you, because you can spend years and years practicing methods that you've been taught. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those methods. All I'm saying is that you need really to find the personal side of your mediumship, the side that works for you, because that's probably one of the most important aspects of it. So, instead of reading a million books and attending a million courses and getting nowhere, sometimes I think the best way to go with the gift that you have is to try and forget everything you've ever learned. Now, that sounds absolutely crazy, I know, but I really think it's a good idea to start sometimes. If you find it very frustrating, you're not getting anywhere with the mediumship side of things, then, really is the best thing to do is to say to yourself, right, I'm going to start again. I'm going to start from scratch. And in fear of repeating myself over and over again, as things I've said on other videos, one of the most important things is sitting in the power, sitting in silence, whatever you want to call it. That is probably the most important aspect of your mediumship. Now, some of the well-known mediums of the past, if they felt that their mediumship wasn't where it should be, they didn't go off and read another book or go on another course somewhere. They would simply go and sit in that silence, ask for help and work with the energies around them. Because your mediumship is really teamwork. You are working within a team, if you like. There's you and there's spirit, and together, working together, building that team spirit, understanding one another, understanding how each other functions, will make a world of difference to your mediumship. It won't happen overnight. It's, a week's course isn't going to turn you into a fabulous medium at all. It sounds a bit, I guess, materialistic, I guess, in a way. Nobody wants to be fabulous, but we want to be accurate. So, it's important that sometimes you forget all the different things that you've been taught in the past and start from scratch. Have plenty of time sitting in that silence with spirit. Sit there and build that relationship, because that is what will really, really enhance your mediumship ability. Excuse me. So, you try and do it nightly if possible, around the same time as possible, if you can. Don't punish yourself if you find you're getting nothing, because straight away, you are putting a blockage there. You are not opening up properly if you're sitting there frustrated. And do not always expect, don't expect there to be something. Don't expect to be able to see your guide. Don't expect to hear something or sense something. Just sit in that silence, and sit in the silence really with intention, and speak to spirit. It doesn't matter if you speak out loud. If you're on your own in the room somewhere and you're sitting in that silence, then speak to them. You don't have to shout or anything, but just whisper, or think. Thought is energy, and that thought is picked up by spirit. So think about what it is you're trying to do. Okay, don't hold on to too much thought, but just at the beginning of that sitting practice, send out your intention or speak. And I tend to say, Spirit, this time is for you. It's for you to learn about me and me to learn about you. Okay, I ask that you draw close. I ask you to draw close to me. Make yourself known to me. This time is for us. I'm sitting for you. I devote this time for you. And then sit, practice your sitting in the power, the exercise of reaching out. Don't go within. Okay, you are reaching out. You are expanding your energy. In other words, to be able to merge with the energy that's around you. But going within, like in meditation, you're doing the exact reverse, really, of what you need to be doing as a medium. Meditation is wonderful. It's like a night's sleep. 20 minutes meditation is like a night's sleep, and you are going within. Okay, you're finding that inward peace within yourself. But sitting in the power, you are expanding your energy. Okay, so that you can blend with the energies around you. So don't get the two mixed up. So the basic thing I'm trying to say here, to make your mediumship easy, it's never easy, but easier, is to spend time in that silence with the spirit that will work with you, with the energy that will work with you, with your mediumship. And the more time you put into that, then the more clarity you will get with the messages that you receive. Okay? And you will find as time goes by, we all work differently, but with myself, I find I can sense the personality. So if you get the personality of a soul, of an energy that's around you, it really will help with the message side of things. And the number of times when I've given messages before that I've been told that's exactly how they would have said that. And it's simply because I've picked up on the personality side of things, and that will all come and all fall into place the more effort you put in to sitting in that silence. So that's the way to make your mediumship a lot easier. Okay, just spend time sitting. Now, as mediums, and something I will say is that with a lot of mediums that you meet, it's interesting that a lot of them have very difficult start in life, and things aren't quite right. They have a lot of mountains to climb in their lives. They have a lot of issues to deal with, and you find that with a lot of mediums. And maybe you just have to learn quickly to deal with things. I'm not sure what that reason is, but life isn't easy for anyone, medium or not. I understand that, but many mediums that I speak to and have spoken to in the past, have always either been a bit of a loner, or they've felt different than they don't feel like they don't fit in, or they've had very difficult lives. So yeah, so if you do feel a bit different, that's understandable. You will see things differently, and the more you go on with this, the further down that path you go, then you will find that you will see things differently. Okay, and don't punish yourself either for something that maybe you believed years ago suddenly changes, because that's very common too. So an idea you had about mediumship or spirituality or religion or whatever may all of a sudden change, and you need to be able to accept that change. Okay, so don't push it away, just accept it, because we're all learning, we're all on that learning curve, and you never become a fully qualified medium. That will never happen, okay, because it is a constant learning curve. And I'm sure when we all pass into spirit, we will realise just how many things we did get wrong. Things we believed probably all our lives will be, completely different to how we expected them to be. So, we are limited with what we can learn whilst in the body. And there are things, obviously, about life, about spirituality, if you like, about spirit world, that we won't ever know or understand, because we simply wouldn't be able to comprehend it. It's just, we are limited within our minds as to what we can understand. Very similar if we talk about maybe like the colour spectrum. We are limited as to what colours we can see with the physical eye. There are many different colours that we simply cannot see. Some animals can. So, cats and dogs can see beyond our spectrums, and they can hear beyond our, the sounds that we can hear. They can hear beyond that. Their sense of smell is so many times stronger than what ours is. So, their senses are a lot stronger. And I've seen many an animal sense spirit. I've seen it in people's houses when I've been called into houses to try and sort the spirit out, if you like, when they've asked for some help. And, it's amazing to see, where I've sensed energy in a house and the dog would just sit there looking at it. Look, there's nothing to the physical eye necessarily there, but the dog is well aware that there is energy. So, yes, their senses are a lot stronger than ours. And maybe there are a lot of things we could learn from the animal kingdom. I believe there is. Mankind is, in my eyes, one of the lower forms, to be quite honest. What other member of the animal kingdom goes out and kills, each other in hundreds and thousands like we do? It's that they are, in my opinion, more advanced in some cases than what we are. So, sometimes it's well worth thinking about how animals act, I think, in some senses, because like dogs can be very, very close to you. They can be very, they're great companions, and, it's unconditional love from dogs. And, the only time I think that animals get messed up is probably by our intervention, really. So yeah, that's enough about them, I guess. So obviously, like I said, I'm going to talk about making this mediumship a little bit more simpler for yourself. Don't fully try and understand every aspect of it early on. Just sit and work with those energies, because once that bond happens, once you get that grasp of the energy that is around you, that's helping you, that's working with you, then everything else will fall into place. Okay, so you are not just sitting there listening for some voice or looking for some vision, okay, or trying to sense some personality. You are simply sitting and expanding. So in a way, it sounds a bit of a crazy way of explaining it, but in a way, you are like lighting a flame so that you can be seen. So by expanding your energy, spirit will pick up on that. They will see that, they will sense that. Okay? Don't forget that spirit are around you constantly. Okay? They're not necessarily blending with you. The only time that will happen is in communication. In other words, if they are trying to communicate with you, if they are trying to guide you, they will blend with you and try and guide you. That's when you get that feeling, you might be doing something and inside you're thinking, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. I don't feel like it just doesn't feel right. And that may well be the energy that is around you trying to tell you something. So you need to learn as well to obviously listen to that gut feeling, because 99.9% of the time your gut feeling is correct. And that is because you are being guided, you're being helped, not only by the higher self, but by energies that are around you. So please, don't get too frustrated in the early days. I'm not saying don't go on a course. I'm not saying don't read a book. But what you can do is, obviously, anything that you read or you hear on a course, anything that just sits exactly right with you and you feel it's right, then yeah, fine, take it. But if it doesn't feel right for you, push it away, because the chances are it's not right for you and it will only hinder you in your development. So I hope that helps a little bit anyway. Just be easy on yourself. Do plenty of that sitting in that silence and let me know how it goes, because I'm sure, give it time. And like I said, it's not an overnight thing. It's not going to happen in a couple of weeks. And no, I talked to mediums that sat for years before they got any real concrete, clear evidence coming through to them, before they got any real concrete, clear relationship built with spirit. And some of the wonderful older mediums, and some of the older guys that I speak to now, who, well, girls as well, mustn't be sexist. So the girls and the guys, if you like, that I speak to now, many of them tell me about some of the things that used to happen years ago when they used to sit, in grand circle, and the manifestations that they saw, the voices they heard. And it's truly, truly wonderful. That's where I would love mediumship to be now. We don't see that now, and it is sad. It's very upsetting that it's happened, and I think we're just carrying too much baggage nowadays. And no, we need to. I really think we need to scrap a lot of what we think we've learnt over the years, and listen to some of the old timers, and the simplicity of their mediumship. And 9 times out of 10, same, with many of the famous old mediums, if it just wasn't going right for them, they would just literally spend more time sitting. And that's what we need to do. We need to learn from spirit, not from other people's ideas. That's my opinion. Sorry if I've upset anyone, but like I said, that's just simply my opinion. I hope it all helps. Have a good evening. Please like and subscribe. I have a Patreon channel now. I've only put a couple, 2 or 3 videos on there at the moment, where I will go into more detail and work with you, and it will give you the opportunity as well where we can work on a one-to-one basis, if you like. But look me up on Patreon. I'm there, You, Me and Mediumship. Not a lot on there. I'm working on that now as fast as I can. Obviously, I work full-time as well, like we all do. But, I want to spend more time helping people, helping the newbies in mediumship. And like I said, it is not complicated. Don't let it be. So take care, work hard, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.